Good morning, YouTube. Today I'm going to do a detailed walkthrough of CyanogenMod 7. So let's get started. CyanogenMod 7 is Gingerbread, is Android Gingerbread. It's on its latest version of Gingerbread, 2.3.3. CM7 is now in RC2 status. That's Release Candidate 2 status. So we should be getting a Release Candidate 3 pretty soon in the next couple of weeks, and I don't know, maybe a final release in about the next month. So in this video I'm gonna go through some of the visual elements of CM7. Then I'm gonna go through some of the features that this ROM comes with. I'm also gonna do some performance benchmark tests, and then we'll conclude. So let's get started. So let's go into settings first, and we can see about phone. You can see it's based on Android 2.3.3, and the actual version we have right now is CM7 Nightly, and the date is March 18, 2011. I'm filming this on March 21st. The most well-known Gingerbread visual features are the bounce effect when you get at the bottom of a menu or top of a menu. You can see that clearly here. And of course, the most well-known effect is the screen off effect, which works beautifully on CM7. Should we see that again? Yeah. You can see the status bar along the top is all black. I like that because of course it looks really good with the Super AMOLED display. You can see the stock Gingerbread icons are there. There's a setting for changing that battery icon to show a percentage instead. So you can do that. You can take the clock off, put the clock back on. Okay, so the notification shade also comes with the power widget control. So this is the expanded view. Now it's gone. Turn it back on. We can select which widget buttons we want, and these are some of the choices. There's music toggling choices. You can turn on different radios, lock screen, orientation. So lots of options there. And you can also choose the order that you want your widget buttons in. It's very easy. Like right now I have toggle sync first and toggle sound last. Let's say I wanted toggle airplane mode first. I would just drag it up like that. And now toggle airplane mode is first. Very easy to use, very easy to configure. I really like that about these custom power widgets that you can set into the notification. Let's look at the app drawer now. So that's the app drawer. CyanogenMod 7 comes with Adw Launcher standard. Works really well. ADW is really nice. I like it. It's easy to use, easy to configure, and you have lots of configuration options. You can choose the number of screens. You can go into a drawer style and choose between vertical or horizontal. You can choose the number of columns. You can choose the speed of how quickly the animations work. You can choose the buttons. I like this also. You can choose custom swipe down and swipe up actions. So my swipe down action is set to open and close the drawer. My swipe up action, show previews. So as you can see on my phone, I don't even have the app tray button linked on the first page off of the main menu. If I want to go into the app tray, I just gesture downwards like that. So it's kind of cool. And then if I want to gesture upwards, you can see that's the screen previews. Okay, let's take a look at the lock screens. We go into settings, CyanogenMod settings. we can see there are a few different lock screen styles. You can choose the sliding tab. There's also rotary and rotary revamped, which adds a third button. This is how my lock screen is now set up. I can go downwards to unlock, or I can use the custom button and swipe sideways to go into my custom application. In my case, I've set the application to my Gmail, so if I want to go straight into Gmail, I just swipe sideways and I'm in Gmail. So I have lock screen gestures set up, I have show gesture trails, and I've added just a couple of gestures to play with, an L and a B, so I'll show you how that works. I can go straight into my podcasting application Listen just by typing an L. I like that because you can directly get to the apps that you use most often. Let's try it again with B, which shows my bootlog history. Excellent. So let's go into this CyanogenMod 7 wallpaper directory, and you can see CM7 comes with a lot of wallpapers to choose from. They're all CyanogenMod themed wallpapers, and some of them are really well known. So you have a lot of wallpapers in several different color schemes to choose. Just keeps going. See, it's a lot of wallpapers, so that's definitely a good thing. That one's pretty well known for CM. Okay, let's why not set that wallpaper. This is a pretty fast ROM. I have to say it feels like it's the fastest ROM I've used. It's really responsive in terms of just the general feel. This is the stock Google widget that they haven't changed anything with. It's still themed in white. Let's look at some of the other widgets. Analog clock, that's a Gingerbread widget. Home screen tips are a Cyanogen thing. Let's look at the power control widget. So the power control widget comes with a lot of options. You can decide which buttons you want on it. When you add buttons, each button becomes smaller. When you take away buttons, each button becomes bigger. You can also decide if you want it vertical. You can choose the background. I really like that because you can set it to transparent, which I think looks awesome. We can take out the rounded corners. You can add airplane. And you can even play with the setting of the size because of the fact this is ADW. Okay, so you can see it doesn't show as good on a light background, but you can see our power widget there. There's also there is also another widget for battery saving, I suppose, called Render Effects widget. You can choose the color, so when you turn it on, it switches everything to a red theme. It's supposed to save batteries. It's awful to look at though. It's not something I use, but it's there. Better go back to off. Okay, let's get rid of that. Okay. Theme chooser. So you can see there's 3 themes there. So this is the standard Gingerbread theme. Now I can choose this green one called Androidian. So if I hit apply, So now we're in Androidin, and you can see the effect is green. When I highlight something, it's green. So there's less of an obvious change there because we went to the green theme, but let's go to another theme. If we go to the blue theme, CyanogenMod, apply that, you can see immediately our icons on top have changed. Now we have a blue theme. Our bounce effect is also that cyan color now. And you can see these icons here have also changed to a cyan color scheme. The clock has changed to a cyan color scheme. This is actually a pretty good looking color scheme for the ROM. I like this theme a lot. Let's look at the music player. Music player is the stock Android music player. Nothing special, but it works well enough. One thing that's good about it is if you lock the screen, you can see the song that's playing. You can also see there's music controls there, so that's quite convenient. Let's look at the camera. I found the camera to be a weak point with this ROM. It's very slow to open. It uses the standard Android camera interface, which is fine, but I think the Samsung camera seems to work a lot better. This works okay. The camera works. It focuses. It takes pictures in focus. The pictures are okay. Video camera also works. So that's good that they work. The CM team has come a long way, but I think they still have a little ways to go on the camera to get it to the level of the stock camera. Let's also look at the GPS. I found the GPS to work quite well. In my experience, it's been picking up my location fairly quickly, especially compared to the first Eclair ROMs that these phones originally came with. I also used my tracks on one of my road trips just to see that GPS works, and I recorded the trip and I found that GPS worked perfectly. It tracked the whole way continuously. There are no gaps. It stayed with me on the road I was, so it captured the details of the trip quite well, and so I would say the GPS is quite good on this. Okay, let's do 3 performance tests. We're going to start with Caffeine Mark. Okay, we got a score of 5844. Let's try our RL SQL test. It took 33.7 seconds, which is pretty good, a lot faster than stock. And finally, let's do Quadrant. So overall, it's a really good ROM. I do also like how they're actively in development mode now. So there's new nightlies coming out almost every week or so. Let's see our score here. So we got 1496. Let's run it one more time. Okay, our second run, we got 1774. Quite a big difference. Let's do one more run. Third run is almost done, so let's see what we got this time. And it's 1871. So that's about the highest I've been able to get on Quadrant. So as you can see, a pretty fast ROM. I'll show you the power menu. So there's an extended power menu. They have profiles, which they just started. And you can set up different profiles there. You can also go directly into recovery. Let's do that. So to conclude, the CM7 is definitely one of the best ROMs I've tried. It feels really, really fast. It is the fastest ROM in terms of just day-to-day experience that I've used on the Galaxy S. I used it for about 2 weeks as my daily driver. Then I had to switch to another ROM because of a couple of things. One was the battery life I found to be really bad. Oh, looks like the recovery menu didn't work and it did not get us into recovery. Anyhow, I found the battery life to be really bad. I'd be getting 12 hours on average. Sometimes, like if I used the phone a lot, it was as little as 6 or 7 hours, which I found unacceptable. I've used other Gingerbread ROMs that give me 24 hours, the same sort of phone use. So battery life was definitely a weakness. I think the camera is a weakness. And the other thing is when I plug in the phone, I can mount the internal SD card, but I'm not able to mount the external SD card. And then of course we just found the recovery menu is not working. Overall, it's a good ROM, and I think by final release time this might be one of the best choices for the Galaxy S in terms of Gingerbread ROMs. Thank you for watching.